Hey guys, welcome to the Powwow Weekly update for the week of Sunday, March 5th through Saturday, March 11th. So we begin the week with the moon in the second quarter, and Sunday the moon is in the sign of Leo, moves into Virgo by Sunday evening. So this whole week, the moon will be moving through the signs of our organs. Like it begins in the heart, it'll be moving then into Virgo, which of course is like kidneys and sorts of things. Libra is kidneys and liver. Virgo is like intestines and such. And then we end the week with the moon in Scorpio, which is like sex organs and that sort of thing. So basically your entire digestive system, or the major organs of this part of your body, are highlighted this week. Now, the moon, it's a building moon, a waxing moon, from Sunday to Tuesday. Tuesday, then it becomes the full moon. And sorry, playing with Sophie here. And then the moon begins to wane. So later in the week, the moon starts making several, tricky or difficult angles to various planets that the moon does not generally work well with. So without getting into specifics, you'll need to check astrological calendar for that, which I have one on my website. But the moon will be making various difficult aspects to these planets that it does not normally work well with. And that aspect is a 150-degree angle. It's called a quincunx. It's even a tricky word. Usually it means like a feeling of frustration or a feeling of difficulty, or like you're trying to force something that just doesn't work. Now, these usually revolve around our health. So you may find yourself at like mid to late week, like Wednesday, Thursday, most likely Thursday, more so than any other day, feeling some health difficulties, some frustrations, some things that you just can't, that are just bugging you. Don't get too emotional over it because the moon moves very quickly and this will pass. However, just because the moon is highlighting that sort of lower part of our, the main body part of our body, I would say this would be a very good week to maybe start a diet of some sort. If you want to lose weight, this would be a really good week to make some dietary changes. If you want to just kind of feel healthier or be healthier, this is a really good week to start making little changes. So if there are little health concerns that have just kind of been bothering you or nagging in your mind, this is a great week to just maybe address some of those, maybe reduce your sugar or reduce your caffeine, or, stop using salt or reduce salt, whatever. I mean, I'm just throwing some random examples, but sometimes even the most tiny change can make the biggest difference in your life, and Powwow is primarily concerned with your health. So I would say that's pretty good advice, no matter who you are, no matter what your body type is like or what your current health situation is like. We can always do some things, even tiny little things, to make improvements. I mean, it's true. So maybe this week would be a good week to just pick one thing that's been bothering you, and it might flare up this week, and maybe take a look at your diet, see where a change can be made. Weather-wise, just like last week, I'm not going to get into the weather because last week, as predicted, the weather was very jumpy. It was like hot and sunny one day, then the next, I was walking the dog the other day and it was beautiful outside. It was warm, it was sunny, it was in the 60s, and we saw the tulips were opening, the daffodils were opening, and there's some hyacinths popping up into one of the neighbors' yards. Very next day, we had sleet and snow. It's just been like that. And then the day after that was mild, sunny, slightly breezy, in the mid to upper 50s. So, I mean, it's just that really jumpy kind of season, I guess. So, it is what it is. Just take it day by day. If you're lucky enough to be able to get outside and do some work, hooray. And if not, it's okay. Nicer days will come. So that's really where we are with the moon, with the astrology, with the body parts highlighted this coming week, and what little I just gave you about the weather. So let's see what's next. Since we were talking about this week being a good week to start maybe like some dietary changes or a body cleanse or weight loss program, whatever, I thought a good home remedy that you can try for yourself is something called milk thistle. This is a tincture, and I use this. I take one like half dropper, well, probably about a quarter dropper of this. You just put it under your tongue, or you could put it in a glass of like orange juice or lemonade or something. Just by itself, it's not very good, but if you drink something down quick. Anyway, the point of milk thistle tincture is that it detoxes your body. It gets rid of toxins, basically. It helps clean your liver and your kidneys. Now, I know our bodies are good at doing that themselves. They don't need too much help from us, but because this is natural, it does do what it's supposed to do. So it will help remove the toxins from your body, help you keep your liver and your kidneys clean, your digestion running smoothly and such, and in turn just kind of make you feel better. Now you can make a tincture. You need the milk thistle seeds, and you would soak them in like a 100 proof or 80 proof clear alcohol, like grain spirits or vodka with no flavors or anything in it. Put it in a dark bottle so it doesn't get sunlight. Put it in a dark place for weeks, 6, 7, 8 weeks, shaking it up every day, strain it, and then it's ready to use. So this is alcohol. Just be aware of that. But you only need like a quarter of a dropper. You can put it right under your tongue. That way it gets into your system quickly. But it's really good for cleansing toxins out of your body, especially if like you drink alcohol, or if you like smoke cigarettes, or if you have some habits that are just like a little bit unhealthy or a lot bit unhealthy. Certainly this will help keep your body detoxed. So there you go. That's our home remedy for the week. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information about reading playing cards. This is my preferred method of divination, and primarily I use this if somebody approaches me that they think they might need some powwowing. They're not sure what's going on in their life. Maybe things just seem to not be working out. They're not feeling good. Their relationship is kind of going south or whatever. What's going on. They have no idea. So those are really good candidates for doing a playing card reading. So I always just give the cards just a regular deck of playing cards. All right, nothing weird about them. And I always give the cards to the individual. I'm just shuffling them out of habit. You don't need to shuffle them. Just give them to the person, let them shuffle. They will give them back. And then you begin laying out the cards. Now, there are actual individual meanings for each card. And I'll put, just in the description of this video, I'll put a link to the blog post I wrote a few years ago explaining those meanings. But what I do is I allow my intuition. I allow God to speak to me as I'm throwing the cards out. So I lay them out in a certain order. I do. 4 rows of 3. And then 4. Okay, so then there's the first one. So right away, what I notice in this, now you're going to keep moving with this. You're just going to keep going. The trick is to try and see what you can see, get a sense of it. Like, for example, all 4 jacks are now on the table in this first layout. 4 jacks, 2 kings, a queen, a joker, 3 aces. So there are a lot of people at work that are probably requiring the energy from your client. A lot of things being started, as indicated by all the aces. Those are new things happening. And in playing card, you use the jokers. There are always 2 jokers. One would be colored in, and the other will be, I'll turn it this way. The other will be just black and white. If there is any danger to your client, you'll see that as a colored in card. The joker that's not colored in indicates that while they may feel like there's a threat, it's unfounded. So if it's in a place of prominence, like it is here on, it's the top card here, take that into consideration. Like you have a lot of people going on, a lot of activity. It looks like a lot of different projects going on. These could pose a risk to your health. And then you go, you do your second layer right on top of every first card. This one again, there's two kings and a queen, so you could say it looks like there are maybe authority figures in your life, maybe parents, maybe bosses, managers, that sort of thing that are asking a lot of you. We're going to go again. We're seeing a lot of hearts here, so relationships are taking a hit. So we see it looks like the person has a lot being asked of them at work, or a lot of projects. A lot of people are expecting a lot of different things, so they're probably spreading themselves too thin, and the relationship is taking a hit. Now the final 7 cards, I just put 3 across one of the middle rows, and then the 4 down. And these final cards you'll take a look at. We see clubs more than anything else. So without getting into the numbers, we know that clubs are how we grow and build things and make changes in our lives. So it looks like that's the main thing. In those final 7 cards, 5 of them are clubs. So that tells me that there's a lot going on, a lot of growth, a lot of changes in the person's life, a lot of people coming at them from many different angles, a lot of new projects being started as indicated by all those aces together. Relationships are kind of taking a hit. And there we go. I saw nothing to indicate overhexing or any specific illness. It just seems like this person might be doing too much all at once. And that is how I do a reading. It's quick, it's to the point. I don't ask any questions. They don't need to tell me anything. I already got information from them when they contacted me. So I give them the cards, they shuffle them up, and I just throw them out. And I just say what I see, do the next row. Say what I see, say what I see, say what I see, and then we're done. And then we scoop it all up. I'll reshuffle them later on just to give them a clean, fresh start for the next time I use them. And that's it. So look down below for the link to the meanings of each card, but don't get too hung up on the meanings, all right? Some of the tips, let God speak through you. Let your intuition take over. Just see what you say predominantly. Like predominantly, you see a lot of court cards on one level. That's significant. You see a lot of aces. That means starting a lot of things. Or, you see a lot of 10s, and that means you've just completed a whole bunch of stuff, You see a lot of clubs, that's growth and change. You see a lot of hearts, that's your relationships. Diamonds is money and finance issues. What's right? Oh, spades. Spades are where you're looking for mental issues. Spades are where you're seeing indications of mental issues, stress. Could even be somebody using magic. Spades are a good indicator if the person believes they have been verhexed. Spades are a good indicator if there's so many of them in one layer that either they're working too much, if they're doing a lot of magic or whatever, doing a lot of negative stuff, or somebody might be targeting them. You just don't know. So anyway, those are a few pointers. Check down below for the actual meanings of each card. But again, don't get too hung up on it. All right, just take some of the pointers that I showed you, and I think you'll really be pleased with the results, and your clients will get an accurate and helpful reading from you. In the 2015 documentary called Hex Hollow, Witchcraft and Murder in Pennsylvania, the documentary talks about a man by the name of John Blymeyer, who in 1927 worked at a cigar factory in New York. And when they were leaving for the day, they were coming out of the factory, and this rabid dog approached and I guess was like growling and just being aggressive, and the people were afraid that they were going to be attacked by the dog. Well, it's recorded in history that John Blymeyer went up to the dog, spoke some words, waved his hand over the dog, and the dog sat down, stopped barking, calmed down, and he even pat the dog on the head, and then the dog went away. That scene was kind of reenacted in the 1980, 86, 87 movie. I can't remember. Apprentice to Murder. The character was loosely based off of John Blymeyer, and they showed him come out, and this mad dog was there, foam coming out of his mouth, barking, and he went over and he did a powwow blessing on the dog, and the dog laid down and was calm. Well, while it's not recorded in history what words John Blymeyer used, there is within the powwow tradition a charm just for that, a charm to calm a mad dog. And it goes like this. If the dog is barking at you or just acting in sort of an uncontrollable way, first of all, move yourself into a position of safety. You don't want to get bit by a dog. But if it's behind a fence or something and you're just walking by and it's jumping and barking and growling and just being generally like spooky toward you, the charm says that you put your hand up over the dog's head and say, "Dog, hold thy nose to the ground. God has made me and thee hound." So it's like 3 just kind of calm down gestures. So it's, "Dog, hold thy nose to the ground. God has made me and thee hound." And that's believed to work. Now, one time I used that on my dog Frodo many years ago, and I think just my general like behavior and saying that in tone of voice confused him, so he stopped barking. I'm happy to say I've never had a rabid dog come at me. But anyway, there's a quick powwow charm to use against an animal, a dog, that is being aggressive toward you.